And so I have negative thoughts every day. And I need to know what to do in order to overcome them. And so let me just talk about an everyday experience that you and I might face. Okay, so a typical day might be we go to work and the day starts off pretty well, and the eating is starting off pretty well too. I had a nice healthy breakfast and packed myself a nice lunch, and before I know it, things start to happen all around me. It might be that, now I'm starting to get sick, and, I'm not feeling that well. And maybe the people in the office or people at work, their behavior isn't, easy to deal with, and they're rubbing me the wrong way. And I'm really starting to get irritable, and so, next thing I know, I get a phone call, and, there might be somebody in my family that is sick, or something happened, something terrible happened. And the list goes on and on. And by the end of the day at work, I just can't wait to get the heck out of there and get myself home. So, I get home and I'm tired, and I'm, stressed. I'm really stressed. And the only thing that I can think of is to get my mind off of all the baloney that I was dealing with all day, So I said, oh, maybe I'll go see if I can find a funny movie or a funny show. And, usually funny is something that's a good little outlet, to kind of change our emotions, because, on the way home, I was almost in tears. So I want to laugh. So I go over to the television, and, I'm flipping through the channels and finally find something that is really funny. And so, commercial time, I go downstairs, and, we're over to the kitchen, and I make myself my favorite snack. Or I might have something, left over from the weekend where I had, a gathering, and I have, some cake waiting for me, something that's really going to bring me comfort, popcorn, whatever it might be. And I sit down, and, I'm sitting there, and I'm, eating and enjoying myself and feeling comfortable and relaxed. And next thing I know, I'm laughing, and I'm laughing, and I'm so hysterical at this point that, I'm wiping the tears from my face. And so what just happened? Well, I had a bad day, and the typical things in life, started to happen. And, there was negativity all around me. And I probably was letting it get to me more than I should have. Maybe I was overthinking the way the people were, acting in the office, or something that somebody said that day. And, maybe that phone call, instead of, maybe giving it over to God and saying a little prayer, I started to worry like crazy, and it was making me sick. And then I got home, and I relied on a device that would change my emotions and take me out of that stress, and it did. It worked. And it worked very well, to the point where I forgot about all my troubles as I was sitting there, wiping my tears. And after the movie was done, the reality of these stresses started to rebuild. Well, the good news is, as Christians, God has provided us a way that we can turn away from our stresses, turn our stresses over to Him, and He'll provide a way. He'll provide peace. Now, I really love the ministry of Joyce Myers, and I'm a big fan of her Battlefield of the Mind program. I've been watching Joyce for probably 15, 20 years, And she has made such a tremendous impact in my life. And what I've done is I've utilized her ministry in such a way, and especially when it comes to binge eating, that I can apply it to my life. I can apply the insight of my little books that I gathered when I was a child, when I went to the Overeaters Anonymous program. And I have different tools and different resources, and again, as well as music, to help me to overcome my binge eating and my overeating habits. Okay, well, the good news is we can change our mind through the power of the Holy Spirit. Instead of me following my feelings, which I probably was overthinking things and took the wrong route, instead, I can bring my thoughts to God and knowing that it's the best thing to do and it's a good thing to do. So, what I want you to understand is this, that faith, real faith, is not just simply to believe in something or someone because it brings us comfort, but real faith means to not follow my feelings, to, know that God is waiting for me and allowing for me to bring my feelings to Him. And the way I need to do that is to do it on purpose, because I know that by doing it God's way and by including Him in my troubles, it makes it more pleasing and acceptable in the sight of God. Now, the fact that I came home that day and I was tired and I just wanted something good to eat so I could just sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy was because I probably, I just couldn't help myself. And you know how it is. Thinking all day, well, there's something in the kitchen cabinets that might be some kind of snacks that you bought for the kids that's calling you. There's just something that you really like to eat that brings you comfort. And so, I decide I'm going to go reach for the food that's calling me. And, you know how it is. You hear